Europa League. I don't care about the Europa League. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. Normally, I'd wake up right after losing a game, right, and I'd be upset and that. And I'm like, yo, you know what? It means that we can concentrate on the big prize, on the league.
You know them with that.
We should have won the game. Listen, listen. Chill out, yeah. Chill out, right? We'll leave United to have a go at the Europa League.
Don't say you will leave us. No, don't say that because I remember. Don't try.
Bigger fish to fry.
No, don't say you will leave us. No, don't say that because I remember. Don't try.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
And where on earth is Matisse?
Where is he?
Hey, Robbie. Bigger fish to fry, yeah? Bigger fish to fry. Well, we gonna fry that fish today. We gonna see how it tastes. We gonna cook. We gonna cook, yeah? For all them pescatarian Arsenal fans in particular, yeah? We're gonna cook today. So, here's your fish to fry, your bigger fish to fry, yeah? Because, you know, you got bigger fish to fry. Big competition. There we go, there we go. We got all the cups here. We start with the Carabao Cup. First, start with that. We don't need that. Start with the FA Cup. Yes. Yes. There we are. As you can see, Europa League, bigger prizes. Yeah. Don't need that. There we are. And as you can see, it's all in our hands. Top of the league, all in our hands. Everything's in our control. Yeah.
It's actually starting to fry.
And some Spurs tears there to top it off. There we are. There we are. Don't bottle it now, eh? You know what I mean? Robbie, bigger fish to fry. I'm gonna cook this, Robbie, and I hope I don't cook it too much. I don't hope it don't burn, yeah? Because I don't want anything to go wrong with the season. Big games coming up. So we'll cook this fish and we'll come back to you. You know what I mean? Back to the table, see how this fish goes. Yeah?
Oh, yes! Yes! Come on! Yes! My guy! Now let's see this out, blood. What the fuck you doing? No! No! My God! For fuck's sake! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, why? Why me? Why? 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 Oh my God! Why? Why? These men are fucking shit, blood! Oh my days! Oh my days! These men are garbage, blood! Oh, wrong one! Oh, I'm fucking fuming, bruv! I'm fucking fuming! Oh my days! Oh, it's fucking end the stream now. End the stream.
Oh my God.
Let me end the stream. This stream's just getting started, mate.
Yes.
Hi, and welcome on to the weekend roundup. We got a show for you today, man. I'll tell you. As you can see, they got the cooking ready for me. Even though the game was last week, Wednesday.
No. You're only as good as your last game.
I wore my colours today, right? Because I knew what was coming. I'm here to represent, right? They're going to cook me. They've been waiting on this all season. And that time has arrived, so I'll take it on the chin. I'll take it like a man. But funny enough, Arsenal didn't actually play this weekend. Our game's going to be against Chelsea tomorrow, right? Despite us not playing this weekend, there were some incredible games.
Yeah.
Some incredible games at the top and at the bottom that we're going to get into on the show.
And in the middle. And in the middle.
And in the middle.
And in the middle as well.
Don't forget the middle.
And in the middle.
But where shall we start?
I think there's only one.
I think we have to start with you.
I agree. Let's get there.
You deserve this.
Go ahead.
We have to start with you.
I'll just take my cooking now. Go on.
All right. Well, to be fair, before you take the cooking, your meal's ready.
Oh, okay.
Your meal is ready. Oh, that is so great.
Bigger fish to fry?
What is that, man? At least cook it properly, man. Hey,
Are your team cooking right now?
Oh, it stinks. Absolutely.
move that from me, man. You have any little stale fish.
We'll leave it.
That's making me
That's the Arsenal's bigger fish to fry.
Josh, you want it back?
There you are. No,
Take that back, man. Take that
that's
back.
their fish to
Chase,
fry.
we got to get rid of it.
I don't want Abby to throw up.
Stench is gonna give it
The way that fish is looking at
Right. Apparently Arsenal's fish.
Oh, that stinks. Absolutely stinks.
They're on to me today, man. All right, go on, hit me.
Flex, you want to start?
Do you know what, Robbie? Throughout this little process, this little period, because look, I don't want Manchester City to win the league. I'm a Man United fan. But this is just directly to you. Because I tried to explain to you what the word bottle meant, like just by definition. And what I find really interesting is the way that Arsenal teetered on the edge of your definition by default of what you believe the word to mean before truly showing what it actually meant. Where even you couldn't have been at the Etihad Stadium witnessing what you witnessed after 6 minutes. I believe
it was 6.
6 minutes.
6 or 7 minutes.
And the way that you played in that game, I don't even think you would have needed a thesaurus after that game to look up the word bottle and all of its different meanings, all of its different contexts and how you could potentially use the word, how you can dress it up, how you can say, cocked it up, messed it up, effed it up. All of these little synonyms, different synonyms.
Synonyms.
But I think after the Etihad, I looked at that and thought, surely Sir Robbie Lyle would look at that and go, that's the true meaning of bottling. Now, my question to you is, do you now understand what the term meant? And my second question to you is, do you regret trying to change the meaning of the word throughout the last 4 games of your capitulation of a title charge?
I understood what the word bottling meant because I watched you lot last
Now
week.
you know what.
No, there's no response to me from that.
hold on.
There's no response.
We're on the defence.
Oh,
We're on the
no
defence
response.
already.
I watched you lot last week against Tottenham. Tottenham.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Hold on.
No, let him do it. Let him do
You
it.
asked me to
All
speak.
right.
Let him do it. Let him do it.
You asked me if I know the
We're gonna see this
definition of
deflection.
bottling, right?
All right, okay.
Now I take it on the chin, right? And you listen. We were rubbish, and we got schooled in that game. And yes, there's no hiding from it. Everybody saw it. They were the better team. They absolutely schooled us in that game. But if you're using the word bottle or flex, come on. You lot last week against Tottenham, you bottled it. You were 2-0 up in that game. The same thing you were accusing us of, bottling it against Liverpool when we were 2-0 up and they came back. Right, against West Ham when they came back. You're against Spurs. And you bottled it.
Did you see my thumbnail?
In answer to your question, if I finally found out what it meant, I found out what it meant already from watching you guys.
So you didn't find out from being at the Etihad then?
No.
At the Etihad, I also learnt it as well.
We're getting some accountability
It was confirmed.
going. Come on.
It was confirmed.
Yes. So there's one bit of deflection. Would anyone else like to call anyone else to stand?
Right? Every time I answer a question, it's deflection. I just said
it is.
I'm not deflecting.
Oh no, there was a lot of deflecting in that. There was a lot of deflecting.
I think we should go round. Should we go round the table?
Yeah, let's go round the table.
Are there any takes?
Shall I just not say nothing?
Yeah,
because
go on
every
then.
time I answer something, you guys think I'm deflecting.
No, everyone deserves their little bit.
You're bringing in other teams' mishaps into your team's mishaps, and we want to take your team in isolation as the biggest club in London, right? As you guys have, London is red.
Yes.
So if
red.
London is so red, and I don't mean blood, I mean red, right? As in what you guys have called it, not as in like, you know.
Not a different definition.
Yeah, not a different definition.
Yeah.
I want to focus in on Arsenal because in these last 4 games, you guys have capitulated under the pressure. And it's something that this team was not going to do because they had a special mentality. And it's something this team was not going to do because they were going to win the league. And it's something that this team was not going to do because they were going to go and do the unthinkable and stop this Manchester City team that some fan cams were saying weren't really up for the fight. They weren't the real City. Well, if this ain't the real City, then I don't want to know what the real City looks like.
I actually said from quite a while they're better than the last year's City.
But
when I said that, people was having a go at me.
But you guys have played them 3 times this season. If you lost all 3 times,
Yes, you have.
Correct.
convincingly this time as well, battered. And when I was going through my ingredients on the table, I can see that you've sacrificed quite a few trophies for this big fish. And You didn't like the fish we brought out. We brought the fish that you wanted to fry, and you don't want to eat it. So now I'm quite offended as chef.
Yes.
I'm quite offended because I fried that fish that you wanted us to fry, and now you don't want to eat that fish, and now you have nothing to eat, and I'm starving. I haven't eaten today. Have you? Guys?
No. I was quite looking forward to that.
You know, I'm hungry, Robbie. What are you going to come out of this season with? Where's the trophies?
Big up.
Where's the trophies?
I like that.
I'm
you did say.
I'm gonna retire.
Hold on. Not meaning to deflect again, but you did say about I said London is red.
Yeah.
I want to ask you what colour's West London? Because right now, I'm looking at it, red and white.
We're deflecting.
Red and blue because it certainly ain't blue.
Okay.
Right, so you ain't even the best team in West London. Right?
Matisse, you don't need to.
So hold on. Whilst I take everything you say once again, I find it hard. As a matter of fact, the cooking episode over there, someone else should have done it.
No.
If Doyle would have done it, or if Flex would have done it, I think it would have been funnier.
You know why?
No. Hold on.
Do you want to know why?
How dare you, as a Chelsea fan?
Do you want to know?
Wait a minute. Let me finish. No, I've got my. You've asked me. I let you talk, right? You said the head fell off your head.
Matisse.
You said the head fell off your head.
Matisse,
you said it fell off your head.
Yeah, Matisse.
How dare a Chelsea fan come and tell me about cooking? How dare a Chelsea fan come and tell me about trophies? About them.
He's put it on backwards. He's put it on backwards.
When you're talking about, we sacrificed this one and we you sacrificed them all when
because
you brought in Lampard.
Tired. Are you tired? We have been frying fish for the last 20 years. We are full, belly full.
That's that what you said at the start of the season?
We are
when you spent all that money and you said that you were going to be the kings of Europe. We're going to be the best team in Europe.
We spent all
that
money.
Over £500 million, yeah?
Yes.
And you got the cheek to come about cooking that.
And we loan.
Give that hat to a Crystal Palace fan.
Robbie.
And let him show me about the cooking. Give it to United. Even give it to Abby. She can even wear it.
We've handed.
Even give it to. Hold on. Abby can wear that.
No.
Doyle can wear that. No. A Chelsea fan, I'm sorry, you should not be doing nothing about it.
In our worst ever season, we are going to.
You're burnt.
Yeah. And we in our worst ever season.
Matisse, quick man, quick.
In our worst. If he lets me, come on. Let the chef cook.
Please, bro.
Let the chef cook.
Okay, quick.
In our worst ever season, we are going to end on the same trophies, and we give you the keys to the city, the most populated. The most populated city.
Same trophies, but you're not going to get a European football.
Hey.
We're on the same points.
Is European football a trophy?
We're on the same points as Bournemouth.
It's not a trophy.
Relegation.
If you let the chef finish cooking, you guys were handed the key to the city that we've been carrying on our back, on our shoulders for the last 2 decades, and we give you 1 season. Please, can you please take some pressure off us? The biggest club in London, which you so claim. Can you please take some pressure off us? We're tired. We're exhausted. And this is what you give us?
What I would say, you're going to get plenty of time to rest.
Please.
Bowley, you know what I mean?
We shall see.
So I'll take it, as I said, I'll take the cooking, but just not from you.
I think Doyle, obviously, as a Liverpool fan, gone toe-to-toe with City many a time.
Doyle's not too nice.
I ain't going to partake in this, unfortunately, guys.
Doyle!
I'm not from London. I don't have beef with Arsenal. That's never been our thing. He's my brother in trauma, unfortunately, lad. He is. I've been traumatised by City for years and years, yeah. And now Robbie understands what that feels like. This team is phenomenal, lad. They are unstoppable. The only thing I do have a problem with is all the Arsenal fans at the start of the season coming at me, lad, talking about Liverpool's crap. Arsenal are going to be the next team. All of this crap. Cecil wearing a t-shirt.
Let's talk about him.
Christmas, brother.
That's for me. Can I have the Cecil?
That t-shirt has nothing to do with me.
Pass me that spatula. Pass me it. Because the way I've endured it in here, the way Matisse has endured it. Thank you. Let me cook.
Just a little choked.
Nigella Lawson. Okay. Right. Let me cook.
Who was the drunk one was on the pitch? Who was that?
Oh, Delia.
Oh, that's different.
Oh, to be fair, where are you? The way it's been in here.
Let's be having you.
Whatever. We should say, where are you first? The way it's been in here has been unbearable. I've sat at this table week in, week out, same as Matisse, where our teams get battered, absolutely battered, like cod. And here you are trying to talk about you're frying the fish. We've got bigger fish to fry. Come in here, putting shame on all of us. You've been top of the league. I think it was 297 days.
Posh even knows the days, boy.
297 days, Robbie. you're going to win the league. And then what happens? It's okay at Anfield. We'll let you off that one. Then it happened at West Ham. We kind of let you off that one as well. And then Southampton at home. You're going down, Rob. You conceded 3 goals. 3 goals. You title winners, title challengers. Because in this environment, you'd won the league at Christmas before the World Cup. Cecil walking around here in a t-shirt with a Christmas tree on, with a mug, top of the table, but you don't win a trophy. You don't win a trophy for being top at Christmas.
Nothing to do with me, that one.
You don't win a trophy for being top at Christmas at all. And you know what? Manchester City, my club.
No, can't get down with that one, yo. I can't get down with that. Can't get jiggy with that.
Order!
Get jiggy with that, you know.
It was.
Quiet in the chambers, quiet.
Beautiful. There he is, Cecil in the comments saying shameless. No, Cecil, you were shameless. Walking around here with 6 months to go of the season at Christmas in the state that you did, and you did nothing to stop it.
What's he done? What I would like to know is
absolutely nothing.
What have you done with that t-shirt now, Cess? Where is that?
Where
is it in your
I
is it in
have
your
requested
wardrobe?
a signed copy of that t-shirt from Cecil. I have, and I do
Pure
want
cooking,
it.
eh?
And this is why, Robbie, unfortunately, you're taking the smoke for all these guys, lad.
No, let's not. Robbie is taking. You are taking the flak for the things that you said, because when you went out at Europa League, you literally was. It's fine. We have to focus on it. You know, one game a week. We're gonna be fresh.
Can I say
rotation? We're gonna be fresh. You man look dead on your feet every single game.
Can I
let me just go back to
the one
let me just go back to the last cooking. I'll bring you in. Sorry.
Oh, this is going to turn Spursy.
So I do. No. I do accept.
I hold it though.
I do accept the cooking from Abby, because Abby's a Tottenham fan, and obviously, you know what I mean. I was in a similar position when Tottenham got to the final of the Champions League.
You prayed.
I was praying that Liverpool would win. So I fully understand your shamelessness.
Thank you.
However, after yesterday.
Rob, it's not even after yesterday.
I mean, at one stage I thought to myself, I'm coming into some severe cooking today, because even Tottenham are showing fight. But no. Even you lot found ways, right, to deflect. You're all about deflection, right? You guys are the ones who are deflecting.
No.
After yesterday, the deflection that you gave, right, by.
I wasn't even ready.
Don't tell me about deflection.
No.
Do not tell me about deflection.
I come on here every week and I hold it. We lose every week, and I come on here.
You were doing the pigeon dance yesterday.
I wasn't doing no pigeon dance. I was trying to cash out my bet.
You did the pigeon dance.
Cash out my bet, Robbie.
Well, I'll take it, right? I'll take it from you. I understand it. I understand the rivalry. I understand that I'm going to get cooked.
I have one final question.
I came in here last week, Best of Enemies show.
It was brilliant.
Right? And it was a brilliant show, and Expressions had about 1 million bottles in it. And I said to him, I go, bro, you lot, I take it from other man, you lot of bottles. And then when I saw that game yesterday, 3-0 down, and I was just thinking to myself, that I know that guy on his stream's fretting now. He's thinking, after I gave Robbie all them bottles. But then when he got it back to 3-3 now, he's thinking, yeah!
It was short-lived.
And then within seconds, only Spurs could have done, but we'll talk about that later on.
May I just say one
cooking.
more thing to you? Do you remember when Tottenham apparently came third in a 2-horse race? And I think we'd only been top of the league for a few days in that whole season. What is this then? Because if that was the biggest bottling,
well, we're second
what is this?
We're second in a 2-horse race.
But you were first in a 1-horse race.
Well, it wasn't a 1-horse race. Come on, was it a 1-horse race?
At one point, you were 10 points clear.
All right, listen. You've all cooked me. Let me just say on that game last week. Obviously, I was at the game. It was a very, very poor performance by us. But then, I have to admit, man, they were very good. I mean, I came out of the ground, got surrounded by about 200 City fans.
Oh, brother.
Robbie wants to score. They were giving me a load of banter, yeah? And then this sort of older, you get these older fans that just sort of come up.
Right? OGs.
They give you words of wisdom. And he goes, Robbie, don't worry, lad, you'll be back. And I was thinking, you're patronising. and then I was going, you know what, our defence couldn't cope with it. I go, missing Saliba, I was giving it all down.
Trying to find ways.
I was trying to find. And he goes to me, listen, he said, even if it's Ruben Diaz, even if you had Ruben Diaz, you had all our defence, Stones, all that, you can't handle Haaland. And he goes, Haaland and De Bruyne right now, no one can handle them, man. He goes, when they're on it. And I kind of like, the next day, it wasn't even that day, I was still hurt, but the next day, well, I was sort of looking at the, got the courage up to sort of watch back some of the game. I was like, them two are good, man. I mean, that guy Haaland, this is a machine, man. So it is really disappointing. And yes, you know what I mean, we have to take it because we've been giving it all season. It's been glorious. And yes, I have to admit, bar an absolute miracle, it's over. We're not going to win the title. They're going to win the title.
We did it.
There could be a miracle. I mean, how glorious would that be if they ever came back and they were,
Well, even to yesterday.
I don't. Funny enough, yesterday's game against.
So I mean,
yesterday's games against Fulham, right? I'll tell you,
it's tight. Like, look at the goal they
it's
scored.
but then that's the difference with Man City.
Yes.
They've got a World Cup winner who pulls out an absolutely world-class goal, but they weren't that great, were they?
No, I haven't said that though. They got through that game through experience. They didn't try and push and push and push and then naively concede a goal. They literally know, and I've been there so many times, they know how to manage the game. That's what you've got to do to win. That's the problem with what Arsenal have had, is the naivety to keep going or to stop. You've got to manage the game.
We've, you know, I have to admit, over the last 4 games we've fallen apart, you know what I mean? The game against Southampton,
that's probably the biggest unthinkable one.
That was horrendous, you know what I mean? I'm like, they're bottom of the league, man.
It's nice, isn't it?
Do you know what? It's the first Monday in how many weeks have we been here? Probably
Since August.
Since August.
Hey, I've been on a good run, man.
He's been on a good run.
I'm coming here and I feel calm.
Yep.
I've actually been on a really good run here.
You have. You've been on a great run.
And that's why I can't cuss off the team too much.
No.
Because I've been on a good run here. But it is. And then obviously with the Chelsea game coming up tomorrow, we've got to bounce back. My thing is now, I don't think we're going to win the league, but we've got to push City right till the end. We can't.
Yeah, at least you can be competitive.
You can see with the Fulham game yesterday, and if you throw in the sort of Champions League games into that, could that have a little bearing on it? Because there was no De Bruyne yesterday. He was out. I don't know if it's an injury or if he was just completely rested, but will that be a factor in some of those games in between? I don't know, man.
I know you've done well, just quickly. I know you had an amazing season and that, but just on, I know you said how good City were in that game. All right, they were. But I just wanted to put a bit of highlight on some of the Arsenal players who I thought were absolutely horrendous. You can talk about Rob Holding having to come in, and Haaland did that.
Rob Holding gets a lot. Rob Holding's been getting a lot of.
He scored a goal, mate. Yeah, he scored a goal.
Rob Holding as well has been getting a lot of scapegoating because you're right. It's some of the big players that have been
exactly.
To be fair, been big for us this season. They've been
in
poor.
That game,
Thomas Partey,
hang your head in shame.
Yeah.
He was absolutely shocking.
And I have to say,
the captain,
no desire.
Odegaard, third goal, awful. Zinchenko, awful. Like, these are the senior guys at Arsenal.
You're right.
Who are supposed to carry them
I
through.
think
they were shocking.
I think like Thomas Partey, the past couple of games have been poor,
really
and I'd be seriously thinking about maybe dropping him out, which would have been an unthinkable thing.
Yeah.
But I seriously think about dropping him out against Chelsea because I think he's just so badly off form.
Jorginho.
And to see Xhaka, as an Arsenal fan, what would annoyed me, right, is when you see Xhaka and Partey giving it when the ball's out of play, are trying to fight in it. If they would have put even 15% of that mentality, that big boy energy, into their actual performance, they wouldn't have got played for so easy.
Do you know the other thing I think about? The other thing I think about Arsenal is that we have to try and develop another way as well.
To win.
Exactly.
So that when you go to City away, put it this way, everywhere we go away, we play the same, and it's worked, right? But the one place where you know it's going to be a really tough time is City, and I think we've got to find another way. The one thing I've found this season, we find it very difficult to just put in like a sort of almost like a defensive performance. It's quite solid. You know, we just don't seem to do that.
You've conceded more goals than Chelsea this season.
And that's
incredible. For a champions team, you cannot concede that many goals. It very much reminds me of the Liverpool team with Suarez and Sterling and that. They scored 100 goals but conceded 50. You can't win leagues with that. You just can't.
Well, thankfully, the production team have just told me to move on, right, to the next subject, right, so we're going to do. But before I do that, let me do some of these super chats. I don't know if you guys can help me out with some of these as well. There's so many of them.
Wow.
LJ Brown says, Abby, your muddy club deserve for you for pretending to be in that top team debate. Your club is more finished than Robbie's hairline.
Preach it. Oh,
That was mad.
Yeah.
Thank you. LJ Brown says, how dare you, ex-Toby, throw Lucas Moura under the bus. He got you to a Champions League. He's a Spurs legend. Now he's going to be out of work like Robbie's barber. That guy's really on me, isn't he? Ali Baba says, thanks to Mars meetings and sorcery, Arsenal have bottled the league. Yeah, it was all them little things you kept doing and you speaking it into
I tried to stop you from saying De Bruyne wasn't world class as well. Like, it was all
no, but you see that one, right? I did not say De Bruyne. You know what?
Clip is mad.
You know, some guy come up to me up in Manchester.
Yeah, of course.
He said De Bruyne is not
No, I asked the question.
He asked the question. I said, don't ask that question.
Yeah.
It's a bad question.
Because the reason I always have to explain this, I just put it out there and said, because he's not really done it ever at international level,
Right.
Is he? And I was like, what is world class?
What was your answer?
And that's still. I didn't put an answer.
The question in itself, I said, was
what's your answer? Because I was sort of saying, if you look at like a Modric, for instance, world class at club level and international level, but there are some players that are world class at club level, but not at international
Scholes,
level.
Lampard, Gerrard.
But they were world class players.
But that's why I was trying to stop him from asking. That's a nice question.
The bigger question I was sort of asking, and it's for another show, is kind of what is world class? What makes a world class player? But anyway, let me get through some more of these. Hold on. Let me get through these. Kyra says, has anyone seen Robbie's Avengers-like speech outside the Etihad, only to have bottled it? We're going to do this. I back my team. If anybody else don't want to back their team, that's up to them. True. Black Wolf says, Robbie, tell Abby we all love her. I told Flex last week to switch seats from her and that Spurs bottle energy. And Robbie, we're not going to be talking about that Captain America hype video you did at City. Oil City says, dear Jamaica Zordon, you got eaten by the big shark. I said out there, like they keep saying about the sharks. When I was up on the stage thing, right? They keep going on about the City Sharks. I was going, boy, it's funny you lot using that word after, all the legal stuff that's going on. Now you lot are admitting your shocks. Samuel says, hey, Robbie, I'm the guy who would bottle... I'm the guy who... Let me just check this one first.
Check it out.
I'm the guy who would bottle Arsenal for Abby. All right, okay.
Oh, cheers, thank you.
He said, I'm a shameless Judas. Sorry, Robbie. London Nomad says, Matisse, you are literally a mid-table. Keep quiet. Abby, your team is literally battered. It's not a joke anymore.
It's not.
Flex, where's your quadruple? He's coming harder than me.
Never said
Nikki says, Chef, you did actually, right?
I said we're going to do a quadruple.
You did actually say to me you're going to do a triple of trophies.
Treble.
Yeah, I said treble light.
Treble.
Yeah, because you can't call it the main thing.
Nikki says, Chief Matisse, what recipes have you got lined up? Too much deflecting from my fellow Gooner, Robbie. This deflection, Fuji. Oh, I missed that one. I'm going to do a couple more before we move it on. Matt says, Warren. Sorry, no. You know what? There's so many of them. You guys are going to have to help me out with some of these.
There's a lot.
Well, here's a good one. Facts Only says Man City just surpassed Liverpool's follow account on Instagram and become the second most followed English club. In quotation, small club with no fans, apparently. Obviously from a City fan there. Saskia says...
bought the followers.
What the hell is that? I know, yeah. You can't buy Instagram followers. No, it is a thing, mate.
Saskia says, I'm a Liverpool fan and even I had no idea how Jota didn't get sent off. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the 4-3 and look on Richarlison's face after he just threw half a rave, and as did Doyle. And Sahil says, Arsenal 22-23, Arsenal 02-03, Arsenal 07-08, the longest 3 periods that a team has topped the league without winning it. Gold, silver and bronze medalists in bottling a season. Well, there's a fact for you, if that's true.
All right, let's move on actually to that game yesterday because it was a brilliant game.
Yeah.
I mean, an incredible game. I watched the stream with you on it, Doyle.
It was glorious, yeah. Just getting this ready for
Honestly.
me. Just getting this ready. I know
Doyle deserves a round of applause just for his conduct. What a performance Doyle's great.
Doyle's pigeon dance. And by the way, you're smashing up the studio with that bottle.
I know, yeah, sorry about that, Robbie. Sorry, Jason.
But what an incredible game. First of all, going 3-0 up. And I was thinking to myself, how can Spurs do this again after last week? You know what I mean? And then credit to Spurs, they fought back to get it back to 3-3. Richarlison with his first goal of the season. You can't write this. It's like a script, right?
No.
Richarlison with his first goal of the season, does the pigeon dance, jumps with all the fans, goes crazy. But he forgot, it ain't over. There's still a little bit of time left. And then Jota, who a lot of people said should have been sent off in the game for that high boot.
100%.
Goes down the other end and scores the winner. And it's a massive 3 points for Liverpool. Still in the hunt for the top 4 places. I mean, you guys, listen, Liverpool and Spurs fans, you guys sum up the game for me. I mean, let me start off with you, Doyle. You guys won it. Sum up that game. It was incredible.
I genuinely think this. I'm not being biased. I think it was the best game of the season. I know we had Arsenal v Bournemouth and it was like a last-minute winner, but this had too many storylines in it, too many things that went wrong.
Better
in the
than
game.
7-0.
Too many. Honestly, yes, that was the best game.
Fair enough.
I mean,
as a Liverpool fan to say that.
As a neutral, that was the
Fair.
best game that anyone's seen this season. I don't think anyone can doubt that. Got storylines in it, like you said, Richarlison scoring his first goal all season against the team that he hates because he used to play for Everton, going up to the fans, shushing them, doing that stupid little dance that he does and irking everybody, just to lose it at the end to a player that should have been sent off. Glorious.
So you admit the drop
absolutely should have been sent off, but so should Oliver Skip. So Oliver Skip shouldn't have even took a boot in the head because he should have been having an early shower already.
Disagree.
He definitely should have. I don't know if anyone thinks of in the comments. I think he should have. It was a clamp on Luis Diaz. He's just come back from an injury as well. Panicked a little bit because he was down, but he should have been sent off for me. He really should. I haven't said that. He did have a good game afterwards.
He did.
But before we move on, just want to make sure.
Do you know what? No wonder you were so nice to me this morning.
And then just before, and then one more. Because, and the reason why I've got all them bottles is because it was nearly
He's secretly evil, you know that.
Doyle's a
it was
wicked
nearly
like
us, but it wasn't. It was them, and it was just the most glorious.
It's always us, Doyle. It's always
It
us.
was the most Spursy thing I've ever seen in my life. It really, really was.
Do you all now believe that this club is genuinely cursed?
Yes.
You do believe this?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
Honestly,
100%.
I don't know what everyone thinks about
Cursed already, just shit.
No. There is a lifelong curse, and I think it goes as well if you're a Spurs fan. I'm telling you, there's a curse on it.
I think you deserve the point from the game without a shadow of a doubt. However, you cannot start games like that and think you deserve anything from the game at all.
Yeah. Agreed.
Just give us all of our goals, every single one of them.
Every single
We're just
one.
like, have a goal, lads. Even the last one, Lucas Moura
We're a
came
very
on.
giving club.
Yeah, you are. And I am grateful for it. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, we're very charitable. We're very, very
The
giving.
penalty, I'm like, Romero, what's wrong with
that?
this
What was
guy?
that tackle?
It's
What was
just
that?
every time
Why?
he's just so rash.
World class, apparently he is.
Nah.
Absolutely not. That's your best defender, and that's why right now I don't know what the trajectory is for Tottenham. But if that's your best defender, and everyone else has got to learn from him,
I'm looking at a game yesterday. I'm saying Harry Kane must just be saying, "What am I doing here?
Yeah.
I've got to get out."
God forbid I say that.
What?
Not allowed to say that.
I'm not allowed to say that
Abby,
Harry
what
Kane
do you
deserves
think?
better.
Proper tops.
Yeah, absolutely. Come for me. What about yesterday? It's weird because I would like to give them credit for the fight back they showed, equally against United as well. But the same lesson remains in every single one. You do not give away 3 goals in the first 15-20 minutes of games. We've seen it the last 3 games, 5 against Newcastle in the first 15 minutes. Against United, it was 2 within, 20 minutes or so? 2 in 20 minutes, 3 in 15 minutes against Liverpool. I will commend you for the fight back that you're showing, but to then get yourself back into that game and then 90 seconds later, it's that. And the funniest part of that was I had a bet on for a draw because I always thought it was going to be a draw. I said it on the preview that I did with Alex on Friday. I really thought it would be a draw. By the time I'd unlocked my phone, gone onto the app, clicked cash out, it then said, as I went like that, it went betting suspended, and I've looked up. and there he is.
This is why you got to gamble
But what's
responsibly.
worse though, Abby not believing that Spurs could hold on for 90
I went to
seconds
cash out.
and trying to cash out, or them actually conceding.
I went to cash out.
That's what all your team tried to do. They all tried to cash out.
Cash out. But anyway, look, the lesson still remains. You cannot keep doing that, and it's the same thing. And I completely echo what Kane said, what Ryan Mason said. Jota, for me, it was absolutely a red card. If it's not at Anfield, it is a red card. We will probably see it happen again this week with another team, and it will be a red.
The problem with it is he's a Liverpool player, you see.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Obviously, he's going to get a yellow card for
It's
it.
true. And what I would say with the skip one, I see your view on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, watching it back, he did get some of the ball. It is a harsh challenge, absolutely. If it would have been a red,
didn't even get a card. Nothing.
No, I agree with that. It should have been a booking without a doubt. I don't think it's a red because he did get the ball, but I can totally see your view on that point, and I probably wouldn't have been that shocked if it had been a red. But I think it's a yellow. But for me, Jota, there's no way he should have been on the pitch, and then because of that decision, he's gone and got the winner. It's just the most Spursy thing you'll ever see. But for Tottenham to do the same thing week in, week out, they're not learning. And Ryan Mason kind of alluded to it, saying, we are having these conversations, and I think Graham Souness said it on Sky yesterday, that the last thing you hear as a player when you leave that dressing room is make sure you start the game well. You've conceded 3 goals again in 15 minutes, and you don't even need to look at where the problem is.
They're showing a bit of fight under him.
They're showing a bit of fight under Mason, but again, what is it that you have to go 2-3-0 down to then flip the switch? Why is that happening? Because Son is actually looking a bit more back to his usual kind of level at the moment. We were unlucky again yesterday. We hit the post twice or 3 times.
3 times.
It always happens at Anfield. We're so unlucky there.
Liverpool,
But all that hard work after having such a poor start and giving them those 3 goals, you get yourself back into it for 90 seconds later. Lucas Moura, and I'm not going to come on that harsh on Lucas Moura because
I feel like I should pass you this because you're cooking your own team.
I always cook my own. To be fair, this is a light cooking. This is actually a light cooking for a Monday because I have actually given them a bit of credit for getting them back into it. But for me, Lucas Moura, he's got 4 games left at this club. He's leaving. Why are you putting him on to play at fullback? He's never played there in his life. Like, it's just, why can't Pedro Porres see out the last 5 minutes of the game?
Yep.
I don't understand that. And that does come on to Ryan Mason, but I'm not going to be that critical of him because it's just a shambles. But
what did you think about? I want to ask both of you. So the big incident. Again, in this game, you couldn't write the script on it. Jurgen Klopp, right?
Love you so
He's
much.
absolutely
having a big argument with the referee.
Absolutely
goes
great.
and celebrates in front of the 4th official. Pulls his hamstring as well. Yeah. Right. After the game, because he was shown a yellow card for that celebration in front of the 4th official.
Yeah.
After the game, Jurgen Klopp said this. These are his quotes. He says, "We have our history with Tierney, Paul Tierney, the referee, of course. I really don't know what he has against us. He has said there are no problems, but that cannot be true. How he looks at me, I don't understand it. In England, nobody has to clarify these situations. It's really tricky. I don't understand. What he said to me when he gave me the yellow is not okay." That's what he said. But the PGMOL, which is the referees organisation for the Premier League, they came out today and they said this in a statement. They said, match officials in the Premier League are recorded in all games via a communication system. Having fully reviewed the audio of the referee Paul Tierney from today's fixture, we can confirm that he acted in a professional manner throughout, including when issuing the caution to the Liverpool manager. So therefore, we strongly refute any suggestion that Tierney's actions were improper. Who's lying? Who's lying?
It's one of them, right? I couldn't give a flying fish.
No, who's lying though?
I don't know. Probably Klopp, right? Let's be honest, right? Football is a passionate game, and that's exactly
Is that
why
right
we love
though?
it.
If he's telling lies on the referee,
professionals. Well, this is the thing. If he believes something, if he believes he's heard something, let's be honest as well. English is not his first language. If he's heard something, he thinks he's heard it, then he's going to go with that narrative. But
English is not his first language.
As a professional,
he speaks very good English.
He does. As a professional, he
been
should.
here for a long time.
I'm just trying to make some excuses for him, right? I'm trying to find some redemption here. As a professional, he should have some decorum, but I don't want him to have that because that's exactly why I love him. Because he's on the. Did you see me celebrating? He celebrated like me yesterday.
Yeah.
I actually apologised to Tobes afterwards, because I felt bad for him because I was so passionate and so motivated and like exhilarated by it. I just expressed my emotions.
But let me ask you, if that was Arteta, who's also been, called into question many times this season about his, conduct on the touchline, which is not like that. Mourinho, if Jose Mourinho would have gone up to a 4th official and done that, Antonio Conte, any other manager, Pep, you would Absolutely, you'd
I
be going mad.
wholeheartedly agree.
There is no excuse for whatever he think he heard to go and behave like that. And at the same time, he's just won the game. He's then also in his post-match interview saying about Tottenham and how we play. Don't worry about us. We've got our own issues. I would also like to point out how you played, because if it hadn't been for the fact that we gifted you 4 goals, that game would not have ended how it was.
That was wild from Klopp. Klopp saying,
instant.
Did you see that? Wait, basically he said like, how comes the game was like that? He said,
don't need to talk about us.
He was like, basically Tottenham just don't change. They just keep doing the counter attack. So the guy's like, what, is that why your team found it difficult at 3-0 up? He's like, yeah, because at 3-0 you'd expect a team to like come out a little bit, so there's more spaces. Tottenham absolutely didn't do this. Mate, you just nearly bottled it from 3-0 up, mate.
That's true.
That's your team's issue, nothing to do with Tottenham, so don't deflect it. But
yeah. He thinks Klopp's out of order with what, that sort of spat at the end of the game.
Of course he is.
Absolutely.
Yes, but I couldn't.
Of course he is.
Don't really care.
Instant karma, because he literally pulled his hamstring straight off.
That's what made it even more comical.
Do you reckon he even did, or do you think he's just
he did. He definitely did. He was still wobbling at full time.
He probably said something mad and then limped away like, "Be nice to me, lad. I've hurt myself."
That was actually disgraceful from Klopp. And I was right. If it was any other manager, you know what I mean? Then it would have retrospective.
Yeah, you can say that.
You all want that to be your manager.
But even away from that,
I just want a permanent manager.
If it was anyone else, and I know I'm going to bring in my own bias here. If Casemiro would have done that kick, to
be in prison.
Well, also
Oliver
Skip as well.
It's true.
He would have got longer than Mitrovic.
Yeah.
That's what would have happened. That's what would have happened.
I agree that Jota should have been sent off without a shadow of a doubt. And yes, there can be more decorum displayed by Jurgen Klopp. But my days, we just won a game that we went. We were 3-0 up. They made it to 3-3, and then we won in the last minute of the game. We all went crazy at that time.
It's the extra time that's added on that's actually let them score.
So the reason why he went over to the 4th official, and I sort of agree with it, was Ben Davies and Mo Salah were running towards the corner flag, both pulling each other, but then he gave the foul to Tottenham,
which was just not fair.
But the 4th official didn't give that foul. It would have been a line-up.
No, it was and that's fair. But also they're all a team, aren't they? So he's probably just went to the closest one that he can possibly go to and screamed at him. The same way that when we scored, I found Toby and looked him dead in the eyes and was like, because that's just what you do in football. If my manager was not like that, I wouldn't want him. That's what Liverpool is all about, passion. I understand decorum needs to be displayed, and I don't condone everything that everyone does which is disrespectful. I don't, but I still love it because that's football.
No, I do get that, because like with the Bruno thing, like how nobody likes Bruno, he's like the most overhated player with the Petra, but because he's on my team doing that and pissing off everyone else, I love him. And actually, like yesterday, yes, I know we'll talk a little bit about Man, but the way the Villa fans were giving it to him because he was on the floor and he scored, he just went over to them and just stared at them.
Lovely.
And at the end he goes, it'd be better if they came here and supported their own team rather than worrying about me. I just love the shithousery. So I get, if it's your bastard, you're like, it's fine. But if it's someone else's,
we had it.
One more thing.
Diego Costa.
One more thing, right. Also, Richarlison, shithead, right. The way he went over to our fans and celebrated like that with his little pigeon head and shushing our fans and that.
Doyle, my guy has been waiting.
Yeah, and because he's crap, because he's a bulldog and he's crap.
300 days for a goal.
Do you know your man Fuad calls him R9, like he's better than Ronaldo? Yeah. Once somebody does that to your fans and to your team, you deserve everything that's coming back at you. So that's why when I jumped up, I was like, come on.
Yeah, but not 90 seconds later.
Pigeon heading everywhere, like, because you deserve it.
Did you see the kid of Richarlison? Did you see, like, when he's in the centre circle, when he's like, is it gonna...
Do you know what the best part about it was? The best part about it was Tottenham fans were still celebrating as our goal went in. We've all seen X's celebrations. I've seen loads of Tottenham fans. That was the most glorious thing I've ever seen.
Move on.
It irked me so bad. I had to just put that in there.
Let's not forget though that in the first half, at half time, for some reason, after being 3-1 up, Van Dijk was the meme. Half time. This guy was doing the limbo, Pilates, gymnastics.
What happened to Virgil?
He was doing some lamb dancing. I don't know what he was doing, mate, but it was like an old age pensioner. His knees just went underneath him, and he was like, "Sorry, can I get the bus, please?"
You think he's finished as a top player?
No, he's not finished. He's definitely not going to hit the level that he was at. He was all about aura and confidence. I know everyone makes fun of that, but it definitely worked for many years. It's just that he doesn't have that anymore. He come back from an ACL injury, which was they're big injuries that you never come back. No one really does full strength, especially when you're in your 30s, mate. So I don't think Virgil's going to come back as the player he ever was, but I still think he's a team player for us, and I still think he can be in the squad. We just need to bring in somebody that we can. He's also played a lot of football, so someone that we can swap him out for.
That was fun.
Should not be getting dumped by
Perisic. And the worst part about it was so simple. It was obviously going to happen.
He's 34 years of age.
You know, lads,
It's so rare
He
that
leaned on his ACL again, mate.
It's so rare that he actually crosses the ball.
running down the sideline. It was horrible.
I thought he was a Trini at
my
Carnival,
God.
mate.
Listen, don't forget to like this video. There's over 7,000 of you watching right now. Really, really appreciate it. So like this video if you're watching it. A couple of super chats here. Juice Source says only a Spurs fan can concede. It wasn't the fans who conceded.
Yeah, I'll be waiting in goal.
Can concede 10 goals in the last 10
though.
games and still celebrate this game week because Arsenal lost. Actually, I do see.
Yeah,
the
it's
fan
true.
there.
Listen,
London Nomad says.
shameless about it.
London Nomad says, and Spurs fans kept saying this season we don't care about Arsenal. Abby's entire season relies on Arsenal.
I've always said I care.
Akil says Chelsea and Bournemouth have the same points. Let that sink in. Spurs have conceded 53 goals this season. Cook Arsenal, but can't hide from your own clubs.
Yeah.
Akilo says, how many of the panel actually had us favourites? Dinesh says, afternoon, respect must be shown to our man Klopp and Liverpool for keeping up with City for the last 4 years.
True.
Not everyone can keep up with City.
Wait, is keeping up with the Kardashians?
Warren Grant
Keeping up with
says, look how everyone's energy towards Arsenal, especially Abby, has changed now that we've collapsed. Matt Carney says, who do you feel would see more success? An average manager in charge of a world-class squad or a world-class manager in charge of an average squad?
The latter.
Also, I think you did that one already, Flex. Lil Yo-Yo says, Robbie, you can admit that Asna bottled the league. Who's Asna? Right.
Asna.
We know who Asna is.
Asna.
Yeah.
Saska says, I'm a Liverpool fan, and even I have no idea how Jota didn't get sent off. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the 4-3 goal and the look on Richarlison's face after he'd just thrown half a rave. Facts Only says, Man City just surpassed Liverpool's follower. Oh, you done that one already, man.
Yeah, done that.
AJ says, Arsenal fans can blame Robbie for what KDB did to their team. You still think it's all my fault. KDB listens to everything I says. Matt Carney says, who do you feel would... I've just done that one. Someone means are doubling up. Dinesh says, Anthony Joshua went to Tottenham, lost his world titles. Todd Miller says, Spurs, the gift that keeps on giving, up the Chelsea, he says. Tina says, Abby... Casemiro did the same as Ship and he got a red. Shabazz says blah blah blah, call us victims, but then say that if it was Arteta, Conte, Casemiro, we don't care. And it's pathetic hypocrisy from Shabazz, a Liverpool fan. Saska says, is there anything more Spursy than if Lucas Moura's last contribution for the club is putting Jota clean through to score 4-3.
I'm pretty sure that would be his last
Abby
contribution.
deserves better, he says.
Thank you, I do. I
And
really do.
Dr. Prodigal Fraudson says, how did Laporte and Stones in their late 20s and company come back from ACLs in their 30s?
Absolutely true. They must have had a great medical team.
No one comes back from ACLs.
I mean, Laporte's a bit crap. So
Stone's having a great season, though, isn't he?
And company's great. Yeah.
I would take Laporte.
Company did all right.
Yeah, company is, and I agree.
So that's evidence that you can come back.
You can, but not all the players do. They're special events or special
What I'm seeing with
instances.
him, right, is that a lot of times when he's getting left, he used
Isolated.
to be... You
one-on-one,
isolate
he's
when he's like
toast.
one-on-one.
Toast.
All the Liverpool... No one's worried.
Yeah.
Van Dijk's got him. No one's... Remember they say no one dribbled
No one
past him?
dribbled past him,
For years, nobody did it. And I think
Now everyone's dribbling past him.
his confidence as well. Like, you've got to be... He is still a human being, and he's been put right on the top of the pedestal for so many years. So now he's going to have that decline. It was always going to happen at some point. It's just happened a little bit earlier than everyone thought. And I do think that his injury was a massive contribution to it. I really do.
Yeah. Manchester United winning 1-0 yesterday.
Yeah.
Top four done.
I think it's just I'm like just in the background
win
today.
off
It's just
Aston Villa.
a big win. Had to win
Villa
it.
a good side, been on a great run.
Exactly, that's
No
their first
surprise.
defeat in 12 games. What I liked about us yesterday was before the game, I was fretting. In previews, I was like, I think we'll nick this 2-1. We definitely won't win by more than 2 goals. But, you know, I predicted like Ollie Watkins would score, like sort of thing. Locked him up. Victor Lindelof was moving like Varane. like he was. And in terms of the drop-off.
Brilliant goal line clearance.
Oh, yeah, which was offside in the end, but brilliant. Luke Shaw, I was saying in my review, because I was excited, I was like, listen, he's better than Martinez. I was saying that just like in that moment.
He was ridiculous.
But when I was being honest though, if like forget the gas of Martinez because he's been arguably player of the season for us. I'm not seeing any drop off that Luke Shaw is now playing there. On the on the ball, Martinez has got that in the locker, progressive passing. But in terms of understanding the position in the air, Luke Shaw I'd say is better than him. The strength, running power. Even on the ball, stepping into midfield. For the drop off that I thought I would see because it was over for Martinez and I thought it was over for us when he got injured. I thought our season's over.
This makes Maguire fifth choice centre back.
And that is the key. They're playing without Harry Maguire, and it's horrible to say, but Victor Lindelof without Maguire
is fine.
It's fine. Yep. Steady Eddie, really good on the ball. Really good. He's actually better on the ball than Varane. Way better than Varane. Do you know what I mean? So he's keeping really calm. And actually, Luke Shaw and Lindelof is the partnership we didn't know we needed. Like they literally complement each other.
So
but
you've got to big up managers when they find.
Yeah, exactly. So Jacob Ramsey, didn't see him. Buendia didn't see him. So actually we did really well to nullify them. And we should have.
Sorry to cut you. I wanted to ask about the protests because there's big protests for the game about the Glazers. Where were you feeling? Because obviously there's these two bids that are in at the moment. One's the sheikh from Qatar who wants to buy the whole thing outright, clear all the debt, and obviously that Qatari money's big, right? And then the other bid is sort of like...
He's the man who wants to get into bed with the Glazers. He claims he's a Man United fan and say he wants to put the Manchester back in Manchester United, but at the first time of being able to do that in a way to acquire the club, he's gone into bed with the Glazers.
Sounding like he's a favourite at the moment, isn't it?
He is sounding like he's a favourite, yeah.
If he does get it, with the Glazers still having a little percentage in there, where do you think the reactions?
That's worse.
Yeah.
This is worse. This is really bad because the Glazers have ripped the soul out of Manchester United, yeah? And I'm not going to bore you guys because, again, when you don't support the club and you don't follow it, you'll just see it from the outside of, Man United have always bought players. It's way more deeper rooted than that, right? So I'll try and sum it up in a short way. The Glazers have leveraged debt against Manchester United, only put 200 million of their own money in at the start, and the rest was off debt. That debt is at now £1 billion, and they're now, instead of selling up, they're now being able to be bankrolled by somebody who says that he's a Manchester United fan. I want to restore the club back to where it's been, but he's going to allow the very leeches, the blood-sucking vampires who have done this to our club, to stay as minority shareholders, take the pressure off them, load his own company, Ineos, with debt to purchase Manchester United, and allow them to keep taking. And now, after year one, and with stipulations and clauses of year one and year two, they can sell those minority shares for even more money. So this is a disgusting piece of information to come out if this is true, and any leverage that he had, because what I didn't like about it was obviously Qatar, Middle East, etc. There's issues there. Maybe we don't go down that. Let's go with his bid was very British. His bid used a lot of terminology to apply to local fans. I want to restore the club back in its northwest roots, put the Manchester back in Manchester United. It's kind of, I'm British. I understand what Man United is, and I'm a Man United fan.
Brexit vibes.
Ish. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. If I'm being, that's literally what it is. But literally, he sold his soul straight away because at the very chance that he realised that the cheapest way for him to acquire the club was to keep the Glazers there, well, then you clearly don't care about Manchester United. Yeah. This March is for full sell only. Manchester United fans don't want the Glazers there in a smaller capacity than before or a partial capacity. Glazers fully
Mind you, if they're only 20%, they won't have much of a say, will they?
No, they won't. No, but this is what I mean. So this is worse. So they're giving all the control to Jim Ratcliffe, but we'll just stay back here. We can still take our peas out a little bit, and we don't have to put anything in. He's doing that. That's worse. So it's bad, and it would be extremely toxic if that was to happen.
Okay. When do you find out?
Over the coming days, apparently.
So you sounds like it's going to happen, lad, to be honest.
Yeah, you sound like me last year with my own little Ricketts versus all of the other ownerships that were coming in, all of these protests, and it's tough because
you wanted Bowley.
I wanted actually Sarri money, to be honest, but then Bowley was the best option because the Ricketts were horrendous. But Jim Ratcliffe came in for us as well. But I think he came in very late. I think he came in really late. Wasn't serious at all. So. Yeah.
Okay, let's see how that pans out. Just to take a look at some of the other results. Newcastle, another team that looks like top four's almost secured. 3-1 win. They did go a goal down against Southampton, but then came back to win it 3-1, and that was a massive win for them. And top four now is looking like Man United.
It's done.
And Newcastle.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
I still need us to get a couple more wins.
However, Liverpool.
Just a couple.
Still got some. If you win every game,
they're going to win every game. I think you're going to win every game.
So do I, but it's too little, too late in that. In that
it should be. If
It
we
is.
get a couple more wins,
Who's
it'll
your
be
next
over.
game?
Brighton away, so we won't win that. We won't. We ain't going to win on Thursday.
I love the way you went to a couple more wins.
Do you know what I mean?
Not next one.
That's what I'm saying. So it's actually our home games that are going to get us over the line. Because I tell you what, with Man United's away form, do you fancy us away to Brighton? Absolutely not. Do you fancy us away to West Ham?
No.
Not really. Bournemouth?
No.
I know it could be done by then later, but do you know what I mean? But the home games against Fulham, against Wolves, and against Chelsea, to me, that's 9 points. It should be, and then that should be it.
Okay, and then talking of Bournemouth, I've got to say, right?
Wow.
Their manager's got to be one of the shots for manager of the season.
We're all clapping.
They were dead and buried.
Yeah.
On to 39 points now, the same amount of points as Chelsea.
That blows my mind.
Are you going to hit 40 points? No, I'm serious.
Oh,
It's actually a legit thing.
We'll get to that. All right, let's get to that in a
I think we should
minute.
actually make an episode and clip all the weeks together of how many times we've sat here and said, are you going to reach 40 points? Are you going to reach 40 points? We've been saying this since January.
It literally is that.
Bournemouth 4, Leeds
May.
1. Leeds looking serious trouble at the moment. Crystal Palace are safe now.
Yeah. Roy.
Big Roy. 4-3. What a game. That was a great game as well. That was another good game as well. But 4-3 against West Ham. And now they're safe. 40 points. Roy Hodgson's come in. A guy's been known for his defensive football. He's had them on the attack. Is a... they look exciting at the moment when you watch them.
Scoring bags and bags of goals.
Zaha back. And also... West Ham not completely out of it yet, but they're looking okay. Brentford beaten Nottingham Forest by 2-1. Heartbreak for Forest right at the end of the game.
A massive win.
That would have been a massive point for them, but they go down 2-1. And Brighton 6. Wolves 0. What a result that was.
Did you see Pascal Gross's goal? Did anyone see
Pascal Gross's goal?
It's like they went after the semi-final, right, we're tired.
Unbelievable.
We got beat off Forest, so De Zerbi went, right, I'm just going to rest a few, get them ready. Mash them up 6-0. They're like, we're ready for Man United.
They're terrifying them.
So at the bottom at the moment is Southampton on 24 points. They're almost gone. Played 34. Everton, who play Leicester tonight. Those are the next two.
Mad for this game today.
18th and 19th place. Leicester on 29 points. Everton on 28 points. The game is at the King Power Stadium. Forest just above them on 30. One of them could drop into the bottom three. Also Leeds on 30. They both played 34 games. One of them two could drop into the bottom three today, depending on who wins. Well, one of them will, depending on who wins that game or draws. And West Ham, 34 points. Still not out of it yet. 5 points above the drop zone, but starting to get away. Wolves on 37. I think they're going to be safe. And as I said, Bournemouth on 39. And just above them, Chelsea on 39, right? They have only played 32 games though, Chelsea, whereas Bournemouth have played 34. And of course,
I wish we'd play more games.
Arsenal versus Chelsea tomorrow night.
If you let them reach 40 points, do you know what's actually really crazy about this game? Nobody's giving Chelsea a chance, including their own fans, and rightly so. Yeah,
you can't
Arsenal with this capitulation at the moment and the confidence being down.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when I watch Chelsea,
and Chelsea
they actually play all right. They just can't score. They actually play
Chelsea
all
as well.
Right.
Not under Lampard.
Chelsea as well will want to come and put the final nail in the coffin of Arsenal. You think about it. I think Chelsea.
No, they can't.
I'm not writing off Chelsea completely from this game because I think
they can't.
I think
it's going to happen.
I think they're going to be motivated.
Look,
Chelsea can beat Arsenal.
No, I don't think they can beat anybody because they're crap, lads. But Arsenal's mentality going into this game is going to be tested so much just simply because of the results that they've had before. And lads. Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Surely they just but surely like
it's not going to be Arsenal
I
walking
think
over
it's
them.
the fact that they're
they
at
just
home.
bounce back
Listen,
at
Arsenal-
home. Emirates
listen,
is rocking against
Listen, the thing
Liverpool
is,
and then
right,
mash up Chelsea.
Arsenal just drew at home to the bottom club.
Yes.
Right?
Actually,
so,
yeah.
you know,
I'm
so
We
you
lost to
can-
that team.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Let me tell you something, Robbie.
I forgot
We
that.
are horrendous.
I did
Lampard
actually
has
forget.
us playing a 3-6-1. Gallagher
never even heard of
with
that.
Sterling pressing from the front, Aspilicueta at wing back, doing up shifts, Kante on the right wing, crossing the ball. This is what we're doing right now. If you do not beat us, in fact, you must beat us, okay? We lose to everyone. We lose at home to Wolves. Lopetegui says that the game against Brentford will be easier. We lose against Brentford. Thomas Frank says, I can't believe they showed us so much respect. They didn't even try Brentford. They still beat us 2-0 at the Bridge. We lose to everyone. We lose to absolutely everyone. We are horrendous. We are bottom 3 in terms of if you watch us, we're one of the worst teams. We're with Leeds and Southampton. There's nobody. Maybe
Bournemouth score more goals than you. Leicester,
Bournemouth are better than you, lad.
Bournemouth are better. Yes, Bournemouth are better. You could maybe say Everton, right? We're bottom 4. We are so bad. So although Arsenal have been capitulating, you guys still know how you want to play. We don't even know how we want to play.
Yeah, but that's only for another short time. You've only got a few games left.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're gonna have Poch.
You're gonna survive.
Yeah. But right now,
Can
now,
you not dig in? Fragile Arsenal mentality, Emirates, whatever.
Do
get an early goal. You know what I mean,
Get
set
yourself
piece
up-
or
get yourself the
nothing.
we scored 1 goal last month.
And it was
deflected.
Oh, it was
We scored a Gallagher one, isn't it?
Yeah, and we scored 1 goal in February before March.
Is that your goal of the month?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Our goal of the month, our worst goal, our best goal, our fastest goal, our long shot. Everything is the same. It's the same goal. It's just replayed. So please understand how bad we are.
Lovely.
We've got a terrible situation.
Avin with a super chat says, marry a Spurs fan. They'll stick by you through everything, judging by what their club is doing to them repeatedly. Moshin says Ratcliffe gets so much hate for no reason. Number 1, the Glazers won't be running the club no more. Number 2, no individual can buy Man United without debt. Elon Musk, the richest man, bought Twitter with debt.
Mate,
look what he did to
Qatar's just saying there's literally an offer on the table that said that they're going to wipe out everything. What are you talking about?
Dave Rocky says, Robbie's saying KDB doesn't show up in big games. I did not say that. Well, he surely now thinks that Arsenal are a small team. Of course, KDB ripped Arsenal season home and away. Moshin says the demands us Man United fans have, we want someone to buy the club and make it debt-free and pay $6 billion. Only state ownership can do that. And Narlin says, I thought this show was about the Big Six. Why is Matisse there? It's not the Big Six. That's another show, another good show, by the way. He says, bring in Matty. That's true, you know. We're going to have to get a Newcastle representatives in here.
Hold on a second.
That's very true, though.
Hold on a second. 2 clubs on this table don't have a Champions League. 1 club on this table don't have a Premier League. And I'm the one that needs to leave. No.
And Todd Miller, Chelsea fan, said the only club that we made look bad, he says, was Liverpool. To be honest, we looked awful. And Mosin says, Flex, listen to what I said. He says, no individual can buy the club. I want to ask me before we wrap it up. I want to ask you two, Pochettino, Abby, you've been week after week coming here saying you want Poch back, Poch going to Chelsea, one of your deadliest rivals, one of the clubs that every Spurs fan hates. The club legend going to Chelsea.
I'm hurt, Rob. I'm really hurt. And do you know what annoys me the most? Is Matisse don't want him. Matisse has not been interested in him whatsoever.
I have always wanted him.
What a lie. Matisse only wants him because he knows how much that hurts us, how much that hurts me.
Killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not true.
It's so
true, Matisse.
No, I've come out with entire videos
That's part of it,
and
though, isn't it?
speeches
You
on
wanted
Poch.
Nagelsmann.
No, I did not.
Don't lie.
No, I didn't.
Don't
I said to you on
lie.
game day preview, I sat next to you and I said, actually, I want Poch.
Find me that clip. Run that clip.
I have always
That's a
put respect on his
lie.
name. You just don't like it because I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Because yes, I am also making sure that you guys are unhappy at the same time.
What hurts me the most about it, obviously, is that he's going to go there. But I can look at it from an outside perspective that my guy has been sitting there for so long, twiddling his thumbs, waiting, wanting to come back to Tottenham, and our chairman, our wonderful owner, never even made an approach, and that is unforgivable for me.
Your fans sing his name still,
they're singing his name. They've literally said, go and get him back. When we sacked Antonio Conte, go and get him back. He's saying that he wants to come back. Didn't bother to.
Instead
didn't
of
make an approach.
Chelsea.
Didn't make an approach.
Definitely wants to come back.
He wanted to come back.
We got a new song now, so you can stop mocking us. Maurizio, he's magic, We're going to sing that at the bridge.
That's not even the tune. That's not even the tune.
That was a sentence, lads.
That's not even the tune.
We're still learning.
That's not even the tune.
Okay,
I know it's weird that you only have one song and like learning.
I'm so happy this is happening to Chelsea right now.
Alright, send me the PDF.
Wait, has it actually been made? Has it been made official?
No, it's not official.
Sorry, send me the PDF.
There is some time that's being taken on it, and like the hopeful part of me is thinking, oh, maybe Daniel Levy's actually trying to contact him. Maybe he's trying to, steal him like you did with Willian. Maybe he's trying to do that, and we'll get the last laugh. But no, realistically, he's just taking his time.
So it really hurt.
I'm very, very hurt, and it doesn't look. I don't blame him because. Obviously, if he wants to live in London, his house is in London. I get that part of it. I would have preferred him to go to United, obviously, when that conversation was on the table. It does hurt that he's going to go to Chelsea.
Right, thanks.
But
Club legend, did it?
If Tottenham didn't even make an approach,
Chelsea.
it hurts. But what am I meant to do? It's not like he's gone straight from Tottenham to Chelsea. He went to PSG and he wanted to come back to Spurs, and we didn't capitalise on it. It's going to hurt
like
me.
Fabregas.
Obviously, I'm going to feel very salty about it.
Actually, yeah, I suppose
Went to Barcelona, wants to come to Arsenal.
Similar because Arsenal did actually want to go back to Arsenal.
Yeah, it is a similar situation.
So it is a similar.
But look,
and then he won a title.
And this is the first. Did you know this is the first manager that will go from Tottenham to Chelsea, not the other way around. The first manager.
You just hate each other as well.
We had Glenn Hoddle back in the day.
No, but they was at you first.
Oh yeah. Well, listen.
But you can't blame them if Spurs didn't. They didn't.
At the end of the day, Maurizio Pochettino needs some respect back on his name. I think he's criminally underrated and very disrespected. And there's no better time to make a move to a London club that have actually won trophies.
I like your press release.
And I can't wait to see Harry Kane potentially make the move too. I would love.
Goodbye.
That's not even.
I'm not even talking about it. I'm not even talking
United
about
or Chelsea.
Listen, United.
If Poch goes there and says, "I want him,"
if Radcliffe goes to Man United, just picture this: Radcliffe goes to Man United, they don't have the money. Kane can't move because he wants to stay in the Prem. He stays an extra season. Then he's a free agent. We're here. In fact, we have the money right now.
I was just about to say that. Why'd you have to wait till then?
Well, because Daniel Levy, that's why.
But you'd pay 100 million for him. You just paid 100 million.
Yeah, but Daniel Levy won't sell him.
He could never let Pochettino.
But if he
Pochettino rocks up with Kane.
The Tottenham fans have ripped down the stadium.
The stadium will get burnt down.
We're
not encouraging that.
You think it's bad now?
Can you describe to me your emotions if that was to happen, just so I can prepare?
Well, my emotions are very upset about Pochettino.
But if Kane was to be wearing a Chelsea shirt with Pochettino,
as we just said, lads, fiery.
Kill myself. Just kill myself. But to be fair, nothing's out of the realms because these things happen. But I genuinely believe Daniel Levy is not even that stupid to let that happen.
What's Ty doing over there?
He's just having
Sneak
some of
around
that
the
fish.
food.
He's having some of that
around
fish.
the fish.
I don't think that's
see these Arsenal fans, bigger fish to fry, trying to eat the fish.
He's trying to eat the fish.
The fish is not cooked.
Sachiv says, big up to Robbie. When is DR Sports Fan Zone coming very soon? And Benji says, Matisse, would you rather win versus Arsenal or lose to both City and United, or the other way round? How deep is the hate? Also, for Doyle and Abby, Conference League, or would you rather an 8th place finish?
8th place.
I don't want Conference League, I want Europa League. I'm happy with that. It's a European Cup, we'll be favourites going into it. Selfishly, I want to watch my team play as much football as possible because I love them. I actually love watching my team.
It's Conference League, that's alright then, isn't it?
No, Conference League, that's different, lad. That's just full of brutes, lad.
Still on a Thursday night.
There's quality.
And it ensures, if you win it, that you get into the Europa League.
Know what I mean, lads? Know what I mean? And also make us the most successful club in England.
Then you would have completed that trophy as well. You know, it's all about completing all the set. You could have the Conference League.
We've done it already, lads.
Get the Conference League.
Finally, just before we go, the question I want to ask you guys is, who's going down? Who's going down?
Well, that's how I change it every week.
It's hard.
I know, but do you see why now, though?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Who's going, Abby?
I mean, Southampton for me. I think Leeds. I would be very surprised if Leeds stayed up. And for some reason, I just have this feeling about Nottingham Forest that they're going to go down. But it's when I look at how poor Everton are and how poor Leicester are, but I just think there is a little bit more quality I mean, it's a stretch.
Everton, no,
It's a stretch with Everton, but I think with Leicester, even like James Maddison can turn it on. They've still got Vardy, Tielemans. I don't think Leicester will go down.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I can see
I think
that.
it'll be Forest.
Who you go?
It's difficult, innit? I don't want to say Everton because the Scousers and I don't want them to go down, but they're not giving themselves any hope at the moment. I still think Leeds, again, what Abby said, there's no quality in that team. It's just going to go down. So Southampton, Leeds, Leicester. I'm going to say Leicester. Just to back me, Scouse brethren.
I've always said Southampton, Leeds, Nottingham Forest, but Everton are really pushing it. Really pushing it with me because their attack is non-existent. So
Calvert-Lewin was back in the last game.
It's dicey for me. It's dicey.
I'm keeping Everton afloat because Dyche, but they're treading water. They're treading
how
water.
well Bournemouth have done. I had Bournemouth as nailed on as good as much as Southampton. I had Bournemouth.
Remember I said Bournemouth after they played us. I said,
and since that day, actually, since that game, I think Liverpool was the next game, wasn't it?
Yeah, they beat Liverpool.
You know, so Bournemouth. Wow, I'm just looking at it now. I want it to be Leeds. I hate Leeds. And I think they will. I think them, Forest and Southampton will go. I'm hanging on to the Sean Dyche that he can just find a way. Last day it might be, but I'm just going to stick by. I really like Sean Dyche.
One in the last 10.
I know.
Jeez, man.
And that was against
since Arsenal, isn't it? Since first game.
And that is Dyche. You know what I mean?
It's really bad. It's really bad. But I hope they stay up. I like Dyche.
No one put Chelsea in.
What's going on? No, should we ask the question of what's the lowest they can finish? When 16th? 16th.
I actually was looking at this the other night to see if it was possible that you went down, because someone tweeted, like, wouldn't it be great if Chelsea got relegated and Pochettino was the manager in the Championship?
It would mean that a relegation team would have to beat City. It's not going to happen.
They could finish like 15th, 14th, you know, seriously.
So they could go as, like, what are Wolves on? 37 points.
It doesn't, you're not going to go.
You're actually trying to work it out.
Yeah, I want to see how low. I want to see if they can.
I'd say 16th.
Because you know what's interesting? What Spurs, you know what, Chelsea, yeah? Do you know what?
No.
I don't think we've cooked them enough this season.
That's what I'm saying. When he was,
do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what?
Hey, the chef is not getting cooked.
Do you know what?
The chef is not getting cooked.
Just because
you a disgrace.
I didn't play this week.
You know what?
I have not
Even
played.
when Man United have had their worst ever, last year was our worst ever season. None of the big teams have ever finished like 13th and that.
Not like this, lads.
Listen, let me tell you, because Culture Cam's tweeted the same thing.
Is that what he said?
He said, Chelsea have not been cooked enough. The reason why Chelsea have not been cooked enough is because we've had English managers. We've had Lampard, we've had Potter. They're favourites in the media. If this had been somebody else, would have got cooked to smithereens. Lampard's not going to get cooked. When was the last time Lampard really got cooked? Look at his record for Everton.
Yeah, but Chelsea as an institution then. Like,
we've been cooked.
I don't
Todd Bowie.
Is it enough though?
Todd Bowie.
Like there's more joy and laughter at laughing at Arsenal or Man United getting knocked out from Seville
and
or
you got to
Tottenham.
Factor in the money spent.
That's what I mean.
£6
Like,
million.
it's actually the worst season out of everyone.
I think, right, I was looking at it the other day, and even though, listen, they could do a job on us, I'm still worried about that game.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at every single team in the top flights of leagues across Europe, I think Chelsea performed the worst.
Yep.
When you consider the amount of money they spent,
with everything,
over £500 million.
I'm the chef.
Spent since the start. No, would you not admit that? Like,
yeah, but we know this.
There's teams
we
down
didn't play
there.
this weekend.
There's teams down there at the bottom of that are poor in other leagues, but they ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So you know what?
They're expected to be there.
Oh, it's glorious.
Chelsea
They definitely have not been cooked to the level you should be when you've spent the money you've spent.
We'll do that next week. This week.
Production.
This week we didn't play.
No, you definitely lose against Arsenal.
I'm on a break.
Anyhow, you
I
let
was
them
on
get
holiday
to
as
40
well. You
points.
still put me right at the start of the show.
The cooking on Monday, if he reaches 40 points on your watch, that there is an unforgivable sin.
And we got Newcastle as well. So
Well,
right,
there's going to be 2 games by then.
Next
week Sunday we got Newcastle.
So that might be forgotten about.
No. We'll remember.
I know you remember.
Yeah, true.
Listen, we've reached the end of the show. Nitres 55 in the super chat says, "Come on, Chelsea, let's go for the championship." Right. And one other one here. Northside Manny says, "Hi Robbie, can you shout out the West Ham under 18s team for thrashing Arsenal under 18s? Also, was there anyone there that you fancy at Arsenal?" I'll tell you what, I was at the game. Very, very impressed.
Some of the goals are unbelievable.
All the goals in the game, every single one. But some of the West Ham players and Arsenal players with some really good youngsters on display. So well done to West Ham. And Dave Rocky says, Africa, Asia, Middle East, when we come here at the Etihad, we still win the league, believe. And just on that, just finally before we go, I've also got my Arsenal stuff on because I'm going to the game tonight. Arsenal ladies are taking on Wolfsburg in the semi-final of the Champions League. Chelsea, of course, got knocked out by Barcelona last week.
Yeah.
60,000 sellout.
Mad.
For the game. Absolutely brilliant.
That's
women's game really on the rise.
Man United top of the table.
Man United top of the table.
I've only been there a couple of years, mate.
I actually think that's very good for the league. You know what I mean?
Man United should be in there doing that. I'm in the FA Cup final as well, men's and women's team.
Yeah.
To Wembley.
Wolfsburg, though, that won't be an easy game for Arsenal. They've been one of the best women's teams for years.
2-2 from the first leg. Arsenal are missing all their best players. Beth Mead, ACL.
Leah
Williams, ACL.
Yeah.
Right. Vivian Miedema, ACL.
Mad.
And Kim Little as well.
There's a lot of women
they're literally their four best players out.
All with an ACL.
I know, I like the way he was like, Virgil's crap. Virgil's crap.
No, it's just how you know, ACL supposedly your career's over, but I'm only joking. Listen, thanks very much for watching the show today. I want to thank Matisse for his cooking. Don't forget you can check out his new cookery show coming up very soon. You know, I mean, he's got Michelin stars.
That's actually not a bad idea for a show.
Yeah.
He's got Michelin stars.
I just do my reviews because
Michelin stars in cooking Arsenal, right? Doyle, loved the pigeon dance yesterday. Brilliant. Abby,
just for turning up after that.
Yeah, well done.
Especially
every week.
Especially after that story about cashing out. I mean, honestly,
that's amazing.
I do feel it for you. And Flex as well. Thanks very much, Flex. Be in the building. Check him out on United View. Guys, what an incredible show it's been. Great to have you on board. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the views. Don't forget, we're here every single Monday, regardless of it's a bank holiday Monday. We are here. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday Monday if you're here over in the UK or wherever you are. And we'll be back next week.